Learning and memory are important parts of our brain that help us understand and remember things. Learning is when we take in new information and skills, like when we learn to ride a bike or play an instrument. Memory is when we store information in our brain so that we can remember it later. There are different types of memory, including sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Sensory memory is when we remember something we just saw or heard for a short time. Short-term memory is when we hold information in our mind for a little while, like a phone number we just heard. Long-term memory is when we remember something for a long time, like our childhood memories. The brain takes in new information and moves it from short-term memory to long-term memory. This process is called encoding. It is important to pay attention and repeat information to help move it to long-term memory. Sometimes, we forget things because the information is not strong in our memory. This can happen because of interference, decay, or retrieval failure. Interference is when new information makes it hard to remember old information. Decay is when information fades over time. Retrieval failure is when we can't remember something, even though it's still in our brain. There are ways to help improve our learning and memory. One way is to repeat information and use visual aids, like pictures or diagrams. Another way is to have a healthy lifestyle, with exercise and a balanced diet. In conclusion, learning and memory are important for our everyday lives. They help us understand new things and remember important information. By understanding how they work and using helpful strategies, we can improve our ability to learn and remember things. How long can a memory be stored in our brains? Sensory memory is the shortest lasting type of memory and only lasts for a few seconds. Short-term memory can last for up to 30 seconds, but this time can be extended through repetition and elaboration. Long-term memory, on the other hand, can last for a much longer time, ranging from a few days to a lifetime. The strength of a long-term memory can also change over time. For example, a memory that was once strong can fade over time, but with intentional effort, it can be strengthened and made more permanent. In general, memories that are emotionally charged, repeated frequently, and meaningful to us are more likely to be stored in long-term memory for a longer period of time. It's important to note that the duration of memory storage can be affected by various factors, such as age, sleep quality, stress levels, and overall health. So, the length of time a memory can be stored in our brains can vary from person to person. Can you intentionally delete a memory? Unfortunately, the ability to intentionally delete a specific memory is not currently possible with our current technology and understanding of the brain. There have been some studies investigating the possibility of manipulating memories, but they are still in the early stages and have not yet been proven to be effective in humans. Some methods, such as exposure therapy, can be used to reduce the emotional impact of a traumatic memory, but they do not actually delete the memory. While we may not be able to delete a specific memory, it is possible to modify how a memory is stored in the brain and how it is retrieved. For example, therapy and mindfulness practices can help individuals change the way they think about and react to a memory, reducing its power over them. In conclusion, the ability to intentionally delete a specific memory is not currently possible, but there are methods to reduce the impact of memories and change the way they are processed in the brain. Interesting facts about memory: the tip of the tongue phenomenon, where you know a word or fact but can't seem to recall it, is a common experience for most people. This occurs because the memory is stored in long-term memory but is not easily accessible. Our brains can store a vast amount of information, far more than we can ever consciously access. Estimates suggest that the average person's memory can hold up to 2.5 petabytes of information, equivalent to over 300 years of HD video. People who are bilingual or multilingual have been shown to have better memory function and a lower risk of developing dementia in old age. The sense of smell is one of the strongest triggers for memories. Smells can evoke powerful and emotional memories, often more effectively than other senses like sight and sound. Multitasking can be bad for memory. When we try to do too many things at once, our brain becomes overwhelmed, and it is more difficult to remember new information. That is it for this topic. For new content, please don't forget to like and subscribe.